Okay, so I know we've learned a lot already, but this is an advanced level class, and we have a few more to go in this class. So have you noticed that we're missing a note that plays for 3 beats? Well, here it is. Dotted notes. Dotted notes are equal to 50% more than their regular value. So if you see a quarter note, which of course is the little circle filled in with the stem on top, if you see a quarter note which is equal to 1 beat with a dot next to it, it's going to be worth 50% more than it's usually worth. So in other words, you're going to take whatever value that is, for those of you that are mathematicians, you're going to multiply it times 1.5 to get its value. So if it's 2 multiplied times 1.5, dig out your calculator if you need to, is going to be 3. Okay? 2 times 1.5 is 3. Half of 2 is 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? Alright, so a quarter note, let's say, let's do the dotted half note first. That one may be a little bit easier to understand. Okay, a dotted half note, which of course is this circle that's not filled in with the stem on top. Okay, a dotted half note is equal to 3 beats. So a half note's worth 2, and then we're going to multiply 2 times 50% more, or 1.5, is going to be equal to 3. Now, if the math doesn't make sense, just memorize it. Dotted half note, and half note with a dot next to it, is equal to 3 beats. Okay, so you would hold that out 1, 2, 3, 4, or you would hold it out to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And notice how I let up the note at the 4 when I say 4, because I'm only holding it down for 3 beats, not for 4 beats. Okay, so you could say a dotted half note is equal to 1 half note plus 1 quarter note. 2 plus 1, which equals 3. Okay? And just memorize that. Count 1, 2, 3. Now, a dotted quarter note is another very common note. This note is equal to 1 times 1.5. And of course, anything times 1 equals itself. So a dotted quarter note is equal to 1 and 1/2 beats. Okay? 1 1/2 beats. Okay? So you would basically count 1 and 2 and you're going to let up at the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3. Alright? Hear the difference? This is an eighth note. 1 and 2. This is a quarter note. 1 and 2. This is a dotted quarter note. 1 and 2. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So they each one have a little bit different length of time. And of course, we'll practice this more. You'll hear it more in the exercise songs that have the audio tracks that are provided in this lesson as well. Okay, so basically a dotted quarter note equals a quarter note, which is worth 1 value, plus an eighth note, which is worth a half value. So it's 1 1/2. A dotted quarter note is worth 1 1/2 beats. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense so far. Let's just review very quickly. So an eighth note, all you're going to do is count 1. This is half a beat. And an eighth note is the filled-in piece with the flag at the top. Okay, a quarter note, you count 1 and let up at the 2. This is 2 half beats, which equals 1 beat. And a quarter note is the filled-in circle with 1 stem at the top, no flag. For 1 1/2 beats, or 1 1/2 notes, you count 1 and 2, and then let up at the end of 2. This is 3 half beats, which equals 1/2 beat. Okay? 1 1/2 beat. For a half note, you would hold down 1 and 2 and let up at the 3. This is 4 half beats, which equals 2 beats, 2 normal beats total. 4 half beats equals 2 beats. For a 3 beat note, you would count 1 and 2 and 3 and let up at the 4, okay? Or you could count 1, 2, 3 if you don't want to count the ands. Okay? This is 6 half beats, which equals 3 beats. A dotted half note, not filled in with the stem with the little dot next to it. Okay? For a whole note, you would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you would let up. This is 8 half beats, or 4 beats in other words. Okay, so hopefully this is all making sense here so far. I know it's a lot of information, but once you get it, it's really easy. Make sure you're following along in the study information so you can actually see it in action, or else it may be a little bit difficult to understand. Just to give you a quick example, what if you saw a whole note with a dot next to it? A whole note is worth 4 beats. Okay, so add 50% more of 4, which is 2. 4 plus 2 equals 6. You would have 6 beats total, a dotted whole note. Now, you're not going to see that most likely, but I've never seen one myself, actually. But just to give you an example, that's how the dots work once again. Great, we'll be back here in just a minute to show you some more stuff.